I'm back. I'm back. Thank you guys. For those of you that are still on, appreciate it. I totally meant to click my Be Right Back screen because I got something figured out. But I will be in and out now to tend to dad duties and such like that. But if you are still on, shh, turn down my gain here. My dog is in the background. I think she's asleep. I don't know. I might have to take her out here in a second. But the idea with just kind of continue the conversation that I have for those of you that are still on, right? Hold on just a second. All right. Like I said, I'll be going in and out. So if that's disruptive to a lot of you guys, I am sorry. Um, but kind of the idea that I had going around this, right? Since no backup plans will buff all of the defensive buffs from every subclass, right? How tanky can we make this Titan, right? So obviously, if we can get technically aside from Arc, we can get any of the defensive buffs from the subclass we run. So here's kind of the idea that I have behind this, right? We can get Overshield from Shield Throw and Unbreakable, right? So there's one. We can get not amplified from Knockout, right? Just throwing a couple punches here and there, make us amplified. There's two. So then it goes down to Frost Armor, Restoration, and Woven Mail, right? The three biggest defensive buffs in the entire game, right? Because we get 50% damage resistance from Amplified, and then we get Void Overshield, which is going to be a stronger Void Overshield thanks to no backup plans. But here's the idea that I had behind this, right? If we run a 4-piece set of Crystal Korean gear from Europa. Oop, hold on. There we go. If we run a 4 set from Europa, after being on combat for a amount duration, slowly gain Frost Armor until you re-enter combat, right? So it's not a great piece of gear, but it's another way that we can get ourselves Frost Armor before without having to tap into anything else, right? Because the thought behind it is I don't want to use super and fast at a purpose as just another means of getting it. I want to see what other ways we can get defensive buffs. And 4-piece of European gear can give us Frost Armor. And so that means, okay, so there's 3, right? There's Frost Armor from European gear, Void Overshield from the subclass, Amplified from the subclass. So then that leaves Restoration and Woven Mail. Now, technically speaking, from this point, if you're running Unbreakable, you don't need to focus on getting Restoration because Devour that you get from Unbreakable will still replenish your health. And technically speaking, so will no backup plans, right? Because Shotgun and Melee Final Blow start your health regeneration while will start your health generation, right? So you get a melee kill, a shotgun kill, it'll start your health generation. Technically, a Devour, it'll also do that as well. It'll also give you grenade energy. Okay, so could Restoration be overkill? Absolutely. It could absolutely be overkill. But here's the thing, though, right? Restoration, though, will still give you health even when you are in combat, when you're not getting the final blow, when you're like, it'll give you regenerative health so long as you have Restoration, right? If you take damage, you guys know it work. It'll continue to give you health back. So, technically speaking, if you don't want Restoration, you could run Blade Fury to give yourself Woven Mail, all from the subclass alone, right? So that's kind of thought I went to that so far where I'm at in the build crafting this, right? I have Aurora Dawn. I have a 5-tier subclass or 5-tier weapon that I got with Cold Steel and Rhyme Stealer. Great combination right here. Great way to generate Frost Armor on its own. On top of using Hunter's Journal with, where'd it go? Creeping Chill. Stasis Final Blows against slow to frozen targets. Release a burst that gives you Frost Armor if you're caught in the blast. And since you're using a sword, it's going to give you Frost Armor when you take out a slow target. So, and then it also works as Swords of Blade Stamina, giving us sword ammo, stuff like that. So that's kind of where the thought process is right now. Now, technically speaking, if we were to, if once we get our hands on a 4 set of European gear, we don't need Aurora Dawn or technically Creeping Chill to give us Frost Armor. So that could open up the artifact into giving us something that, like, say, Queen's Full Sensor, wear 2 shreds, right? If I'm running along and I use my thrusters to get myself to activate slice on a weapon. Let's see if I have one. I think I have one. I had one. Past tense. Here we go. If I have a weapon that has slice on it, activate my class, but I use thrusters, take out a target, right? Then, right here, deal sever, and then taking out a sever target drops woven mail, which is the other reason why I was thinking of running Frenzy Blade, because Frenzy Blade, the melee will sever. So there is that right there. Hold on, I'm gonna try to fix something here real quick. Something going on my computer side. Okay, cool. So that's kind of, I'm still, like I said, I'm still playing around with this right now. So I think the first thing that I'm going to do with this build, just to get a feel for it, is I am going to take a look at a different artifact, because there's 2 that we get 2 shreds from. So there is Tablet of Ruin, which gives us 2 shreds, as well as a bunch of Void and Arc perks. So we also get Particle Reconstruction. Ooh, hang on. If memory serves, I think I did pull a weapon that was damage type, strand. I did. It's a fusion rifle. With slice. Increased damage. Nice. Okay. And we could do strategist. That's be a good combination. Final blows will generate class, improve class ability regeneration. That's a good set right there. So that leans me more back towards Tablet of Ruin, because defeating exhausted targets with weapons that match your super element is not really going to help us here, because we're on Prismatic, right? We're not soloing, right? Even though, yes, Tablet of Ruin does technically say it helps Prismatic, I'm not that impressed. So we could go Particle Reconstruction to boost that fusion rifle. Dealing sustained damage to fusion rifle is partially refills the magazine of reserves and grants them bonus damage for short duration. So there is that thought, which means we can run gold from lead to pick up special ammo. Oh, double special. Double special. That's the other problem. Okay, I'm going to put Quad Ventus back on, I think. No, I'm going to get... Where's my signature? There's some down here. Bait and switch. There we go. All right, put on this Cynosure, because then I can put on Queen's Full Sensor, which is going to buff which you can buff our rocket launchers for. Defeating a frozen target spawns stasis crystal. Okay, so what else does this subclass, does this artifact give us? While Radiant, Solar Precision Final Blows cause combat to ignite. Well, we're not going to be Radiant. When we are going to be Radiant, we're not going to be using solar weapons. So let's check out Tablet of Ruin again. Damage to target bolt charge jolts them, but we're not... even the playtesting a little bit, I haven't found a sure way to get bolt charge. Honestly, not yet. Alright, so we go once. What is hitting me? What? What do y'all shoot me? No. I felt my controller vibrate, and I was very confused for a second. Anyways, so 2 shreds, particle reconstruction, which we're going to have to take back off, probably... Limit Break might actually work, because casting a super while you're critically wounded or have an elemental buff matching your super element grants superior to increased super damage. There's that. Could spread volatile, right? Just need a void weapon, a void heavy, because we could put on that resounding... Oh, that's right. I was trying to avoid the double super, or the double special. That's why. Okay. Which is why we had this on. Slow to frozen targets. I mean, and again, it might get me going back to Hunter's Roll anyways. But, no, that's right. We need that means of getting woven mail. So... And there's no other way to give us restoration, either, that I know of. Right now, I currently have on the Exodus down gear, because if I get full stacks of armor charge, it'll give us 33% damage reduction, so that's a great setup there as well. Sustained damage targets with a heavy machine gun or rocket launcher grants resist damage resistance to increased grenade and melee damage. Ooh. Put on heavy ordnance. Then that means I could put back on Quad Ventus 4. Let's go and slap that on. There we go. We got means getting woven mail. Give us grenade and melee regeneration because we do need those in this build. Gold from lead. We're using a special weapon anyways. Damage going to ravel targets with a weapon occasionally spawns threadlings. Threadlings sever targets that they damage. Could be running that as well. No for the Nobel. Let's see. Defeating arc debuff targets grants bolt charge. Oh, there's that means right there. Okay, so let's put that on then. Because we don't really need Elemental Siphon. Because out of the entire loadout, we're not running weapon and kinetic nor a weapon that matches our subclass. Alright, so we want Unraveling, which means we could do this flashover, which means we could actually, well, real quick, go back to the Destiny Compendium real quick. I'm not going to do the whole screen glitch on you guys again, because I know that hurts my eyeballs. But pulling over to Artifact Perks, let's go down to Tablet of Ruin. We're on a Crypton Disc right now. There's Implement of Curiosity. Tablet of Ruin, okay. Heavy Ordnance, Heavy Ordnance, Heavy Ordnance, Heavy Ordnance. Where did you go? Okay, so how much regeneration does Heavy Ordnance give us? It's there. Okay. 85% additional base grenade and melee ability generation for 10 seconds. Scoring up on 8 machine gun damage instances. Oh my goodness. Okay. All right, we're going to try this out real quick. We're going to try this out real quick. Keep heavy ordnance on. All right, let's put Carl up. 85%. That sounds ridiculous. Thank you. All right, let's go ahead and check those. Did it say final blows or just sustained damage? Oh my god. Did I even have it on? I do. Sustained damage. Okay, so that damage resistance came up. That's when it triggered. Okay, not that impressive. Alright. Not to where we can put on Defibrillating Blast, though. Alright. Because we do have the now we do have the means of getting a Bolt Charge. I take that back. There's another buff we can add to our list. Dielectric, defeating arc debuff targets, grants bolt charge, and we know. Oh, no, we don't know. I lost it. That's what happened. Because it's not going to jolt him anymore. This is one of the hard things of running multiple artifacts, because now I'm mixing up Hunter's Journal and Tablet Ruin in my head at the same time. Okay, so now comes cross analysis, which one we want. Let's stick with this for right now. Just because... Oh, I don't have another way of causing the arc debuff, so we might have to take that off. Alright, so we're going to stick Hunter's Journal back on for now. Right. We're going to stick this back on for now. Right. We'll figure out a way to get Woven Mail here soon. But for now, I mean, let me look at this one last time. Right. Frost Armor is active, stasis precision final blows, cause combatants release a freezing burst. Because technically we could run a stasis weapon, right? Because I'm running this as another way of getting Frost Armor's backup. If you got some ideas in the comments, let me know. Breaking Bat and Shield with Stasis or Strand. we're going to put that on. And so we're going to put on Cynosure. And we're going to run with Queen's Full Sensor. Just because we have that rocket launcher. And it gives us reload speed as well. Yeah. Yeah. All right. We're going to run with that because this does give us slice. So we do have a means of getting woven mail. Which means we can keep on our solo subclass. So, just to review, because I'm probably gonna take this into Europa just start farming for some of that gear. This is how I put this in. This is what I went to bed on last night. So that's on just quick review. No backup plans is the center focus, right? So while we have defensive buff, shotguns and melees deal additional damage. So 35% damage for shotguns, 30% damage for melees. And will extend the duration for all of these buffs here. Provides moderate benefit, shotgun airborne effectiveness, and reload speed. So, and then shotgun and melee final blows. And no backup plans is the focus here. The focus right now, what I'm focusing on is getting as many of these buffs applied as possible. So, here's the rundown. We are going to get Void Overshield from our melee and from Unbreakable. Unbreakable is going to give us a Void Overshield for that time. So we're going to get two ways of getting Void Overshield, right? We're going to get amplified by knockout. So getting a second melee kill is going to trigger knockout. Which, let me go ahead and put up some targets just to kind of demonstrate. Get some ammo here. All right. So, melee kill gives us Void Overshield. Second, triggering knockout is going to make us amplified. It should anyways. Is it seriously not showing us the amplified? Because it's supposed to make us amplified. Quick winning a target. Defeating a target with melee attacks makes you amplified. Okay, yeah. It's going to make us amplified. All right. So we're getting amplified and Void Overshield. So Void Overshield, amplified. Right? We're also getting even more damage resistance from Fast Set of Protection because we're surrounded by combat. It's going to give us a plus 10 to the melee stat. And then tack on Fast Set of Purpose, picking up an Orb of Power with Hammer Soul is going to give us Restoration. So there's the 3 light version of our defensive buffs. Restoration, Void Overshield, and Devour, technically, amplified. Now, what I'm going to be farming for is 4 pieces of this gear right here. Being out of combat for a while slowly gives us Frost Armor. Then we can go in, get a final blow with the shotgun or a melee. Because, remember, Frost Armor has been reworked to where it'll melt off one at a time instead of all go waste as a timer ends. So, we can build up Frost Armor, keep the duration going, stuff like that. And then Queen's Full Sensor to shreds using our class ability with a weapon with Slice to give us a hot spot of Woven Mail. So, the only thing I can't demonstrate is the Frost Armor because I don't have 4 sets of the... Do I? Wait a minute. Let me check. Before I, say I don't, let me check to see if I have 4 pieces of the Cynosure gear. Because I know I have one for the helmet. Do I have one for anything else? No. No. Okay. So I need to check the vault. Okay, cool. Here's a second one. Do I have a third one? Is that one? There's 3. Do I have a 4th one? Looking. There it is. Is that it? Yep, that's it. That's it. All right, we got at least 4 pieces. The stats are not going to be optimal in the slightest. Oh, actually, those stats aren't too bad, actually. 94 in the weapon stat and 114 in the melee stat. That's actually pretty solid. And 82 in the grenade. Because we're not going to be focused on using the super at all in this build, really. So, okay. Yeah, there you go. So you got 4 pieces of cryostation gear. That's what I call it. I know it's not the name of it. But that's going to give us Frost Armor as we're out of combat. And look, already 5 stacks right there. And... cool, right there. So, get the melee. Get the melee. And as you can see, that frost armor is not going away. So, there you have that. And let's see, will it melt off? Oh, it'll melt off, but don't come back. Alright, so yeah, that's the other thing. Okay, so that's probably the main downside to this. Is that frost armor, even though I got the melee kill, it only refreshed up to the current stack that I was at. And there's the amplified, so give it amplified. It just doesn't have enough window space there. Alright, so let's go ahead and fix that. Arc loader, and what do I put on? Arc scavenger. Yeah. Alright, so clean refresh before we actually take this to probably maybe a solo ops now at this point. And before we go into solo ops, I'm going to take a break for a second, but I'm going to do a quick review and then go tend to my daughter for a second, and I'll be back. Pretty much. So, I'm going to go through the different pieces real quick and just name off the buff that they're going to give. Restoration, Void Overshield, and technically Radiant. We got Radiant right here too. Anyways, Void Overshield, Devour, and Void Overshield, Amplified, which, kind of clarify, these two together give Restoration, Void Overshield and Radiant, Void Overshield and Devour, Amplified, Frost Armor, and then last but not least, occasionally, Woven Mail with these two, Weapon with Slice. Just to make sure I'm not crazy, see if it actually works. Get a rocket launcher ready. Dodge. I think the Woven Mail is there. I can't even really see myself either, is the problem. Oh, yep, it's there! It's there! Oh, I think I lost it. Okay, so you know what? We're going to put on a strand loader instead. Because... And you know what? Now we're actually going to go ahead and test Sever, though. Because... Here's the thing. If we get that... We'll keep the Void Overshield up. So I have to go... I'm going to go through and clear off the defensive buffs. Let all those time out. Let's pull this up. Alright, so let that build up. Bop. Bop. Jeez, you need the aim with this thing. So Devour, Radiant, Restoration. I think there's so many buffs going on right now either. I can't tell. Oh, you can see the hands. I do have Woven Mail on still. Yep. There you go. There you go. You got the major buffs in a matter of seconds. You get this from... There you go. So, all right. So the last thing I want to pay attention to is, can the melee give us Woven Mail? Which I can't see that because of all the dick buffs. All right. So we're going to do something. We're going to take that off. And we're going to take that off for a second. Just because I can't even see. We get 3 buffs in 1 second. Okay. So even though it severs, you know what? I think I know why it's not working on the red bars. I think it's the same interaction I've encountered before, is that the enemy has to... I think it's similar to what happened with the Void Hunter build, is that the enemy has to survive in order for that to work. Yep, that's it right there. That's it right there. Okay, so the enemy has to live. If you want to use Blade Fury, it's gonna cost 2 charges, but the enemy has to live first before. So now let's check. Okay, so targets around it are severed, and it gives us Woven Mail there. Yeah, this is... And that's both defensive buffs just stacking on each other. That's crazy. Whoa, whoa, whoa. What void debuff was that? Did y'all see that there for a second? Disorient. Oh, interesting. How much damage is blocked? Okay, cool. So we can just sit there and let that charge up, and then just unleash to get full. Yeah. Okay. All right. Oh, let's put these back on. Yeah. So we have in total, just kind of run through the whole thing real quick, and then I'm gonna take a break, go tend to my daughter, and I'll be back to run this through a solo ops to see. So we got this with Faceted Purpose to give us restoration. This paired with the subclass, or not subclass, the artifact with our, oh goodness, our heavy to give us Woven Mail. This with Shield Throw. I am seeing the chat, but I'm about to take a break for a second, so I'm not responding. All right, so this or this, right? Doesn't, could be either or. To get Woven Mail, or to proc Sever to then get Woven Mail. Shock Grenade just suspend, grenade doesn't matter. Unbreakable to give us that Void Overshield and Devour. Amplified and, yeah, increase melee damage technically. Increase damage resistance when surrounded. This gives us Restoration. Arc, Solar, and Void abilities deal increased damage to targets afflicted with Darkness debuffs. I just have this on here. I'm going to play around with this. This gives us Radiant. Increased class builder energy when we have a buff. That I don't think that's a problem in this build. This I'm going to have to think about trading out. Maybe I might do Fast Awakening. We'll see. Because this is unnecessary, technically. Melee Final Blows because we're already getting health generation. Landing rapid precision hits emits a severing blast from the target. Wait a minute. It doesn't say with strained weapons. Oh, hold on. All right. I knew I was pushing time real quick. I'll be right back. I'm going to go tend to my daughter real quick, and I'll be right back. So stay tuned. And all right, we're back. We're back for a little bit. Don't know how long, but we're back. And hello, hello. All right, so before the one last thing I wanted to test out before we actually go into just everyone do map it chime in, right? Testing out the newly reworked no backup plans on a Titan, right? And now the main focus is that while instead of just avoid overshield, while you have a defensive buff, now you get the benefits from no backup plans like I used to. But the other thing, though, that they added was that when you get a shotgun or melee final blow, it will extend the duration of those buffs. So in other words, we're just trying to see how many of these buffs can we stack up, right? And then just go to town, basically become an unkillable. So, right, so we figured a way to get, so just kind of review, Restoration paired up with Faster Purpose, right? This can lead into giving us Woven Mail. This gives us Radiant and Void Overshield and Devour amplified, and then our armor set gives us Frost Armor, and our artifact can give us Woven Mail occasionally, right? Occasionally. So all of those sat together, we're going to see how well they actually hold up. But the one last thing, because the artifact and giving Woven Mail is kind of the hard-ish one to pull off, right? So I noticed, right, Fast as Solitude landing rapid precision hits emits a severing blast. It doesn't say from your strand weapons. So what I want to test out here is, will this work on anyone, right? I'm using a stasis weapon right now, so... Oh, and he's severed. And we have a moment. It works. Oh my gosh, it works. It stinking works. Give that Woven Mail. Quit hiding it behind the crystal. Yes! And get the amplified. Oh, it stinking works. Oh, this is going to be beautiful. This is going to be beautiful. Oh! Devour, Restoration, Frost Armor, Woven Mail, Amplified, Void Overshield. Oh, this is going to be good. This is going to be good. And we have got to farm for that Catalyst. We've got to farm for that Catalyst to give us increased reload speed for the Fourth Horseman. So, now, technically speaking, what did you miss? Oh, you walked away. It works. It works. I'll show you again. It's all right. I'll show you again. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. All right. So right before I take a break, tend to my daughter. Right. Testing out Fast as Solitude. Rapid precision hits. Causes severing burst. Pop. Woven Mail. It works. Pop. It works. It works. Oh, and the unravel everywhere. Oh, this is so good. Come on. I don't ever run pulse rifles. I think I just found a reason to run pulse rifles. Now let's go prismatic. Oh, this is so good. This is too good. The only thing I will say, like, I wish that the two artifacts that gave Woven Mail with 2 shreds had more synergy with everything else. I'm gonna take a deeper look into these, probably off stream, just so I don't take too much on, because I know everyone likes seeing the explosive actions. But yeah, so we are going to. Oh goodness, what do I want to do? Do I want to farm for the catalyst, or do I want to take this solo ops? Let's take this solo ops first, just to see how well this thing can all hold up. All right, so let's do Caldera, because Caldera's got groups of enemies. That's a tricky question, Buffalo. I'm gonna be honest with you. So, right now the answer is no, only because I am, like I said, I'm technically a solo player. Um, so I don't. It's not that I'm not down. I'm not up to it because I've never ran a raid before. Really, I mean, well, I take that back. I briefly ran Vault of Glass. I think it was whenever, like, for a bachelor party years ago, but I never got the chance to complete it, and I barely ever got into it before it was like 1 o'clock in the morning because there was problems getting set and everything. So technically, I would argue I've never ran a raid, and I would love to one day, but it's the timing of it. Because again, like, even just like not too long ago, I had to go off stream because, you know, my daughter is awake now. Thankfully, she's all right, chilling out in the living room, whereas I'm in my office. But, you know, it's challenging for me to be able to do that. Okay, just out of curiosity, which Void Warlock build are you talking about? You talking about the one I just recently did? I've done a couple of them. So you get that precision hits. Not the best ones to pick on Vex. Get the Devour going. Bop. Yes, it does. And that's the other downside to raids. Now, dungeons, absolutely loved them. Now, I've only recently just started to be able to get into being able to solo dungeons, right? I soloed Grasp of Avarice and Pit of Heresy now, I can say. But the others, I keep on trying Equilibrium, and I regret to say I still can't get stinking Equilibrium down. So there is that. Dang. Sorry, I'm going to take out this overload real quick. We are not going to die. All of our buffs are gone. We're not going to die. Okay, we have Woodmail, Restoration. Cool. Shout out to that one guy when I made my second chance build that he gave me the advice to aim for the ground when it comes to the shield throw, because that has come in clutch. Alright, let's go Prismatic. Totally missed that. Oh, come on. I would love to do Crota's End, I'm not going to lie, because I know that armor set is crazy. Like, being able to do like just any melee final blow triggers a Cursed Thrall explosion. We're absolutely nuts. Oh, hello, Overload Champions. Okay, let's back up, get out of there. Get that Sever going. And rocket. Boom. Hey, you're supposed to go down. We might lose this. Thank you. Give me a little bit of mail back and a restoration. Woo-hoo-hoo! We ate that. We ate that. Alright, just one left. Alright, let's build up Unbreakable here. There we go. Void Overshield, Restoration. I think we still have Woven Mail up. No, we at least have... Alright, There goes that. Let's reload. Yeah. Buffalo, I'm seeing your comment. Yeah. I've seen videos of Crota's end gear going off. And I would, like I said, one of these days, I would love to, like, do it. Like you said it plainly. It takes forever. Oh, dang, we have an unwanted. Overshield, and pop. There we go. Let's see. One thing I forgot about, because I had that strand loader on right now, is strand loader won't work if it's a one-clip mag. That is my dog whining in the background if you hear that. Let's build that unbreakable shield. Hey, where are you shooting, bro? Come on. Deflect. Waste a grenade. Ooh, special ammo. Thank you. We will get the melee. We will not get the melee. There we go. Yeah. Where are you seeing the checkpoints at? I know it takes a delay to respond. There's another guy that I follow, Discipleship Gaming, and I will put out a message for, like, I'll comment something like right then and there where he's at, and it'll take 4 years to get back or to get the answer to him. Alright, let's go ahead and reload before we get into the boss fight. Whoa, was that the... Which artifact perk was that? Consumes stack of armor charge, granting increased damage and reload speed. Oh, okay. Nice. Interesting. That helps. That helps with the woven meal consistency right there. Alright, and we do get the sever, which means he's gonna... Oh, you're spawning right there today. Wow! Swing and a miss. And bop. Oh, come on. Get knocked out. And got the immune. Oh, wow. I will... Buffalo, I'll keep that in mind, honestly. I will definitely keep that in mind. Thank you. Are you just... He's just sitting there. Oh, we're definitely not completing this in time. That's alright. Alright, is that... Okay. Just gonna get the super off, even though it's not really gonna do much. Yeah. Because we're not focused on the super stat right now. It's doing some damage. Little that unbreakable. Thank you. Give us that overshield. And pop. Give us devour. And restoration. And get that reload. Slice. I did not see how much damage that did on Argent Ordnance. Restoration, devour. Amplified. Amplified. And now we've got to let everything recharge again because we're out of combat. So all the buffs will fade off. Is there a quest to get the Chaperone Catalyst, or is it just something that drops randomly? Do y'all know? Thank you for the free overshield. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Oh, man, that's great. Dang! Did you see that? Did you see how much damage that thing just did? That thing just melted it. I think five rounds probably would have taken him out, if not left him down to 1 health. Which means we are going to be grinding for that catalyst. Which means, all right, so that that entire thing took 3%. All right, well, if that's the case, right? I don't need that. Don't need that either. I only keep that on because it's one of the first ones I got. Might keep that on. I'll leave this on for now. All right, so what that means is I'm going to go to my favorite place where I farm for catalysts, and which means I'm going to set up my catalyst. Oh, my goodness. So I did that entire setup, and I didn't even mod out my helmet. That's crazy. All right, so we're going to put a arc finder, and we're going to put a special ammo finder and a hands-on. And let's bump us to 99 weapon stat. Yep, sounds good to me. All right, now let's see. Can we bump this even more? We'll bump us to the 100. Please. 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 I know it says lowest stat. Ah, man. What materials do I have? Oh, I don't have nothing. I can do roll for that. That's right. All right, so technically, if just a PSA, right? If you were ever trying to farm for a cast, right? Because if you go to like right now, I'm working on Fourth Horseman. You can see like I was at 14%, and I did that solo ops, and only got to 17%, so loading a 3% gain there. So, and the biggest downside to farming for a catalyst is there's not enough enemies. So there's only very few spots of infinite enemy regeneration that you could, in turn, farm for catalyst, right? So, a couple different places, right? One, it takes a bit of time to get to, but it does technically work, right? It's where I ended up getting my yellow lightsaber crystal for my practic blade. But one of those places is actually going to be in the... Where is it at? Where'd it go? There it is. The Whisper Exotic Mission. When you're going through, you get through half of the jumping puzzle, and you actually get to, ironically, this green room here that it is showing. Keep progressing on. So when you turn, if you drop down, that crack right there, that exact crack right there that's in the picture, and you don't fall to your death, if you jump through the ledges underneath it, it'll spawn infinite Shadow Thrall that you can just continually take out. It does take a bit of time to get there, though, and that's one reason why I occasionally I'll go farm there if I feel like it. But I don't typically go there to farm. The other place, though, that I do farm for catalyst grinding is if you have, I don't remember which expansion this was, but I'm pretty sure, I hope this is one of the free ones. If you have access to the Grasp of Avarice dungeon, that very first encounter is infinite enemies. So typically what I do, and I'm going to just showcase this today. Yep, you got me there too. That's exactly where I was going. Grasp is the main one people go to. The other one that people don't know about, I think, is Whisper. Is the Whisper. Oh, stretching my back out. But yeah, the part that it took me a learning curve to figure out, especially when I'm farming for this, is that if you don't want to really deposit or collect the exotic engrams that drop from these enemies. So we are just going to go ahead and farm for this catalyst. All right. Not really going to focus on the buffs. Oh, before I actually get engaged, I do want to fix one mod setup. So I'm going to take off this strand holster because it does not work with our... Oh, thanks. Thank you so much. It doesn't work with our rocket launch because it's a one loader. So what do I want to put on instead? Let's put on an arc holster. Just because. I mean, no. I want installation. Nope. No. I want melee. I want melee because that's going to give us more buffs. All right. So there's one. Ah. And I know too what I need to do. And you're gonna inevitably you're gonna collect the engrams. Inevitably. Right, and so thankfully have one right there. Now I'm gonna go ahead and let this explode because I'm gonna change it or die real quick. The other thing that you are gonna want, so especially farming for primary catalyst is super easy because you're just having to continually get kills, right? But when you try to farm for like something like Fourth Horseman that uses special ammo, it's hard because you can run out of it. So what I have started doing, and I'm going to go and fix this here, is one, I'm going to go ahead and put on a triple arc reload speed to boost the time that it takes to reload that weapon. But you also want to look for something that has the impromptu ammunition perk, which I do have one. It's just on a different class, so I'm going to use my Destiny Companion real quick. Destiny Companion website or app on my phone. And there's Titan weapons. Let's see, I have it equipped on one right now. Thought I did anyways. There we go. Alright, so then impromptu. Okay, there it is. So there's two that I have. So just kind of two weapons that you could pick from here. right, that do roll with him are Dead Horse 04. No, I'm not going to lie. I can't remember where I got this from. I'll look into it in a little bit. But Peculiar Charm I got from Zavala. It also comes with it. And I think, because that's a Crucible weapon. Peculiar Charm. Okay, it's no longer... It's not there. Okay. So, either way, and this does drop from a variety of weapons. These are just two of the ones that I have here. So, you want to go for a roll that has impromptu ammunition, especially if you're trying to farm for a weapon that is special ammo, because if you run impromptu ammunition, final blows increase ammo meter progress from all sources for a slightly increased duration. And this it's slightly increased because it's enhanced. Now, the reason why this is very good on a primary ammo weapon is because for primary ammo, and I can't remember where I saw this. I can't remember if it's on Destiny Companion or not, but primary ammo weapons generate more ammo, pushes the ammo meter progress quicker. So, if I want to, say, right, if I really want to max out my ammo generation, just throw on a triple special ammo finder here, run a weapon with impromptu ammunition, and then we're going to be pumping that special ammo generation like crazy. The other thing you could absolutely do as well is you could also run a 4-piece set of Ferropotent gear, where primary ammo weapons are going to boost special ammo generation. Don't want to make myself completely deletable. Yeah, there you go. There's that good reload speed right there. That's what we're working towards right now. Which... And then... Because you can see that ammo... now you can watch that special ammo meter build like crazy. Now, that's one part of it. The other part... I'm going to just go ahead and get out of fire real quick. I'm probably going to die from the timer. But the last part that you actually want, right? Since we're running an arc special weapon, right? The Fourth Horseman. The last thing that you're going to want... Oh, sorry. Hang on just a second. My daughter is so silly. If you heard the "oh," I literally jumped because she snuck up right behind me and scared me. All she was coming to just, be silly and wipe her snot on me. So, anyways, all right. So, yes, I do the triple special ammo generation on as well. Do I have 4 pieces of Ferropotent gear? But it don't matter. It don't matter because we're generating enough anyways with impromptu ammunition. But if you don't have a weapon that has impromptu ammunition, totally what I recommend is getting 4 pieces of the Ferropotent gear, because I know I have some here somewhere. Oh, there it is, right there. All right, so right here, right? Nope, that's not it. Right there it is. So if you have 4-piece primary ammo weapons, boost special ammo progress. So that's just another way that you can help do that, right? But impromptu ammunition, you guys already saw there how quickly that ammo meter was going. So the last piece that you want is you want to put on as many scavenger mods as that match your weapon. So I'm running arc, so I'm going to run triple, which I'm going to go and drop this down to 1 temporarily. I could also just do triple harmonic and put on an arc subclass, but why make things simpler, right? So triple arc scavenger, that's going to increase the amount of ammo that you get every single time you pick up a special ammo brick. So let's just run back into this, right? We had the max reload speed. We have our way of getting special ammo. And then we can just go to town. Now, why it's reloading on its own, I genuinely don't know. But now we're basically getting a full magazine. Just kind of make us more tanky here. Because, we still want to, actually not die every 5 seconds. a target here. And there's special ammo brick. And I will say, this is probably going to... be honest, I've farmed this place a few times. This is probably going to be a longer farm. Just because, like... this thing burns through ammunition like crazy. Although, that actually just kind of maybe proved me wrong. Both of those targets just got taken out with one round, so... And let's see how many we can pull up. I wish there's a thing like speed loader slacks that would auto-reload this shotgun. I know there's an artifact perk that I've seen that will reload from reserves, but we burn through our reserves so quick, too. And yeah, so, and if you're still watching and getting ideas like, you know, oh, you know, what's he doing? I'm catalyst farming, right? Just sitting here and just letting the charge up, because the stacks of Burdened by Riches will go up to 100. Now, technically, in the actual dungeon mechanic, you would go into, just to kind of show, that crystal right there and deposit them. But, because if that timer up top hits 0, then you die. The good news is, though, this is infinite revives. There's no, in this section right here, that's not respawn restricted. So there is that. Which also makes this a great place to catalyst farm. But also at the same time, that this... I forgot what I was going to say. The counter can go up to 100. I don't know where they're shooting at. I will say the unfortunate thing, though, about how this game has been going so far, since Bungie closed their doors, is, or the staff got laid off, I should say, is I've noticed more and more bugs popping up. And I hate saying that on stream, but I've noticed more and more bugs popping up. Does anyone know why it's auto-reloading itself like that? Because it's not because of anything I'm doing. I never got the chance to use Fourth Horseman too much. I used it whenever it was new, but then I got overwhelmed by the constant, like, fire. That. I got overwhelmed by the recoil of that thing. We're going to get close to our first knockout here soon. Here's some special ammo. What I might do, and what I would say too, because I don't, as someone who does build crafting and puts out build videos, I know the value of keeping, like, your secrets guarded, right? Of keeping your ideas guarded, because technically speaking, yeah, I run the risk if I share all my secrets and ideas that other people could just take it and run with it, and like, you know, oh yeah, and like, I get that, I understand that, but at the same time, like I said, like I've said before, it's a game, and we're already at it. We're gonna reach it. So now hit the emote. I timed that perfectly. But it's just, yeah, it's, I don't know. I know there's the risk of people taking my ideas and running them, but honestly, if I can give you the idea at the end of the day to have fun, then it's worth it. But even like if you're wanting to build craft yourself, the thing I would just recommend, play around with the mods. Like just play around with stuff. It said it's not gonna be perfect. I'm not even saying my builds are perfect. Just they're not. I had a whole discussion with somebody over TikTok yesterday. And he flat out told me, "Is just you don't have the gift to build crafting." Okay, fine, but my builds aren't for you. But I know, other people have enjoyed my builds, and I was very grateful the fact that even like a few hours later, someone on TikTok reposted my build and said, "I am loving this build right now." Like I was so grateful for that. It made me very happy to see that. And if I can help someone have fun in this game, at the end of the day, this is a game that's unfortunately just been abandoned, then awesome. Obviously I have other missions in mind. I have other means, I have other focuses in mind besides, making sure I make the perfect build, right? But I think the thing that eats at me the most is, when you take the time, like, if you don't enjoy something, great, that's fine. Like, if you even go as far as, like, disliking it, okay, fine, whatever. But, like, the thing that probably eats me the most is if you enjoy it, you dislike it so much, something about it so much, you take the time to go and trash them. Or comment, "Oh, this is the worst thing." Like, okay, fine. But something I've learned in my own life too is let somebody else experience it and possibly enjoy it. Right? Yes, there's the value of reputation. But I don't know, it's a weird dichotomy. Because yes, things grow in popularity the more they have a positive report and positive reputation. But and there are certain things that should take that. Like, for example, restaurants should have reputation. Restaurants, you should pay attention to the reputation of the stars and stuff like that. But, like, something like this, like, okay, come on. It's a game. People have fun. Everyone has a different way of playing, right? There's someone in my family. He has been begging me to make a sniper build. But I don't like snipers. I'll be honest. I have the worst aim in the world. There are two things that I'm bad at, and it's parkour and it's aiming. And so, yeah, it's okay. Why is it auto reloading? There's nothing I'm doing that's reloading the weapon from reserve. I think it's always done that too. Is that a perk? So each successive shot has more damage and more spread. Oh my goodness! I am so wow. Okay, weapons rate of fires increase significantly and fires full auto. Final blows auto load ammo from reserves. Okay. I just knew it was a fast-firing shotgun. It took me this long to finally realize, oh, this thing's auto-loading itself from reserve. That's crazy. That is... wow. I am so slow sometimes. Alright, let's get the ammo generation go. So I see the thing holds, I think, 16 to 22 rounds from reserves total. So just kind of get that ammo generation going up. And it's going to be a slower progress because it's... they still haven't fixed the bug where Unstoppable Ogre has aim. Dude, I think that's been around since, like, Red War. Unstoppable Ogre is just going to annihilate. You gotta hit him first before he hits you. That's why that... absolutely, everyone has different playstyles. And that's kind of the big thing that I always get at. Is, like, I'll go on TikTok and I'll see different people's builds, right? That I get some inspiration from TikTok. I see some of the craziest things on TikTok. Craziest things, and I'm loving it. And then I go into the comment section, and people just like tear them apart. I'm like, dude, just okay. Like, for example, my hunter build. I posted it on TikTok just because I've been noticing more and more people on TikTok have been asking me for my builds, right? And I get I posted the warlock, my solar warlock build, and my void hunter that I just posted with my hawkmoon build. And people, like, for the warlock build, there was a guy, he was kind about it, and because I had used Promethean Spur, and I'll own it. Like, apparently Promethean Spur is not one of the most popular exotics to use in the game, right? Especially for solar warlock. But I commented, like, I had fun with it. Like, it gives you, like, it's a war priest, it's a fantasy style build, right? It's not something you're gonna take into like end game content, into a raid and like one shot a boss and a raid. Like, no, I know it's not possible, but still, it's like, I had fun. It's a fantasy style build that you bless the ground with a healing rift, and you get a kill with your war axe, and you get empowered by each one. Like, it's a fantasy style build, right? And a lot of people had fun with it. I even took it into a Grandmaster Lawless Frontier back whenever those were like some of the hardest things in the content, and I soloed it. So it's the need to be negative with one another astounds me. I don't understand why people need to be negative with one another. I don't get it. Like, and the one thing I will always stand by, and I've done this in the past, is if you want to come at me, fine. Come at me. Like, if you come at me for my builds, okay, fine. I'll probably interact with you a little bit. Come at me for my faith, I'll let you say whatever you want. Because then I know other people at the same time, they're going to come back around and they're going to go, what are you talking about? Right? Because in the day, if someone hates me because of my faith, then that's a blessing. But the one thing I won't stand for is if somebody comes after someone in my comment section for enjoying the build. And that's happened before. I banned a guy from my channel entirely because he went after someone else in my comments who actually enjoyed the build. I'm like, you're not going to do that. You're not going to go after people in my comment section because they're having fun with something I put out. And will I get flack on that? I don't know. Do I care? No. Because, you know what? Like I said, I got different things in mind. I'm not out here to be the most popular content creator in the world. Not my goal. I'm here to put out fun builds and spread the gospel. And I'm sitting here rambling on, just sitting here blasting things away with my shotgun. I haven't even checked the catalyst meter yet. All right, so we're at 17, and we're now at 58. All right, and this is why this dungeon's great, man. This is why this dungeon's so good. I'm about to wipe. It's all right. Exactly. Like, and I put out, I don't know if I put out a post. I think I put out a post. With the Hawkmoon build, that as a solo player, right? And if people can solo, focusing solely on damage, great, good for you. Me, I ironically take the approach of Thanos. Perfectly balanced as all things should be, right? As a solo player, like you see it in my builds. If you pay attention to my builds long enough, you see it. That I focus on a balanced spread of DPS, of survivability, and ad clear, right? I try to take all those things out because I have to. It's the only way that I can clear some of this higher end content by myself, right? So, like, take this build for example. Okay, you have DPS from Fourth Horseman, right? It also serves as ad clear. Like, went into Grandmaster level of the solo ops, and you saw how much damage that put out on the boss itself. Stack a weaken effect on that, and that thing shreds. Give it 5 rounds instead of 4, absolutely shreds. And then, okay, so there's DPS portion, right? Is that going to delete a boss in one shot? No. Is it going to make you work for it? Absolutely, but sometimes the best things that are earned are worked for. So, you know, but I'll leave that philosophy there for another day. Okay, but then you also got the survivability, the healing aspect, right? We have the two biggest healing aspects in the entire game. Devour and Restoration in one build. Alright, and then you got damage resistance. You have the capability of putting all three of the biggest damage resistances in the game is slotted into one build. Woven Mail, Frost Armor, and Void Overshield. And Amplified, because Amplified's in there too. And yes, you also have the fact that you can just absolutely annihilate yourself with a rocket launcher. I think I gave myself unravel rounds there for a second. I unraveled myself. But now, are there some minor things that I would tweak in this? Probably. Like, I'm still torn at the fact that we can't, like, get the prismatic artifact, the Hunter's Journal, and get that arc explosion, right? Just for dealing final blows while amplified. Because you can get amplified with knockout. Oh, nope, you are not going to explode me today. Nope. And you can, like those lightning bolts that dropped from... Sorry, I heard something in the background. Sorry, I was keeping my ears open for anything going on outside of where I'm at. So, I'm going to be playing around with this probably privately still, because I have another build already in mind that I want to put out for this weekend. So this, I'll be honest, this build may or may not be next week or the week before I go back, before school starts back up for me. But, because I want to see, because I know we can get Restoration from this. We could also get Woven Mail. And technically speaking, right, we do have Devour and Shotgun Final Blows do start health regeneration. So is Restoration overkill? Yeah, probably. Because melee Final Blows are also going to start health regeneration. So, something that I want to play around with. Now, is it cool? Do I still love the fact that I can see Restoration just slot up there? Yes. Like, I think I am... Spoiler alert, it's not going to be this weekend, but I am working on putting together a Solar Warlock build using Dawn Chorus. And I'm also farming for the Apostate gear. Because melee hits while you have Radiant Restoration is going to apply Scourge. Well, in this Solar Warlock build, we can get Restoration times 2. Which, if you were around for season, like the season where we got Solar 3.0, and Witch Queen, when you get a classy Restoration and all that, you know how good Solar Restoration times 2, or Restoration times 2 is. So, it's just, and you can get that and keep it up. Like, I sat there with an ogre blasting me in my face, and I did not die. So I think what I might do is I think once I get this cat, I'm gonna reload and see how far I am with the progress, because I was at 58% now. Let's see, make sure too high of this. Oh, we're at 100 stacks anyways. 68%. Oh my goodness. Good time to, you know, tap out anyways on the, Yes, I love doing that. Huh. Theoretically, probably. I mean, we can test that. Not Siri. Let's try that out. 1, 2, 3. Preferably not on you guys. And, okay. We'll test that out here in a second. Because it takes at least 2 pumps to take that thing out. Get some wood over shield there. Alright, we're going to have to get some more back ammo from reserves to test that out. But I was curious. I think I have seen it reload itself, too. Like, I think it's 1 for 1. Alright, I'm back. She just wanted to tell me something. So, Buffalo, did you see what happened with, I don't know if you ended up seeing or not. But if I have one round and it'll keep on reloading. So, you could technically, if you were careful, you could absolutely go and just annihilate. I'm gonna bop you. Punch. This is gonna be a menace if they gave like slide reload as one of the catalysts. Like this is gonna be like annihilate in PvP if they gave it a slide reload. Like, could you imagine? Will you? Thank you. Goodness gracious. Get that ammo meter going up again. Just gonna hold a wall right here. Pop. Alright. Oh, the wizards are back. Sorry, pop up on my computer. Okay, good. Yeah, no problem. I was curious about that too, honestly, because I was the whole time like before I even realized that it was gonna auto reload on kills. Which I'm not gonna lie, the fact that it does that, this thing is like making me love this gun even more. The fact that you can just reload from reserves, and you're basically shooting from reserves. You're not even shooting from your actual magazine until you get to the end of your mag. If you're taking out targets, that is. So now we gotta go get more ammo, let them come out. We gotta take out both of them. Oh, you nasty things. And 1, 2. That's what I call a 1-2 punch right there. Does aiming help? Kinda. For me, it does. I mean, well, you got this, so I mean, it depends on how close you want to be, right? Me, aiming does somewhat. For a shotgun, sometimes I'll aim, sometimes I won't. It just like depends on how I'm feeling in the split-second moment. But kind of thing with shotgun, especially with the large spread, doesn't really matter if you. I don't feel like it matters if you do aim. Right. I mean, to me, I feel like the hip fire is better, just because. Like I don't know. I feel like personally, I don't know why I feel like you do more damage. Because to me, if I'm aiming for the head, not the body. So, but I feel like that's where you kind of do need to aim, is the actual body and not the head. Looks cool though, that's for sure. I like that. I like the iron sights on it. And this is why you don't go in the cave, because now we're at 95. Alright, so let's focus on getting ammo back before we tap out on it again. No! Stop taking mine! I don't want to give them to you, because then I have to go down the pit. I want to go down the pit. Are we at full? We're at full. So we hold 20 rounds. Where's it? There you are. Yeek. Boom. Oh, goodness gracious. Alright, what's our progress so far? 92%. We're getting there. Totally gonna do it. Where am I going? Where am I? Alright. Let's run in the cave, get our ammo back. Because I know there's some ammo in here. Yeah, we're 13, 15. There we go. Full loaded. Step out of the cave, I dare you. Hey! See, there's one of the glitches right there. That has plagued me in some of my solo flawless runs. That has plagued me. Right? And that right there is that's what my brain does. Someone says one line, and I'm not gonna lie. Not gonna lie. I've already been thinking about a no backup plans build. So, and I had tested out briefly and seeing that it could extend all these buffs now, like even reading it, I knew no backup plans was gonna go off the chain now. And I saw Plunder did a classic Void version of it, But like, you don't need to do void. Just void no backup plans more. And I love the fact too that they took one of the biggest complaints too about no backup plans of that the armor changing color with the subclass actually, can work now. So it's yeah. Basically, I was already looking. I have so many ideas in my head. So many ideas. Just like fragments of ideas. But your suggestion just kind of put it, gave me a reason to. It was the ignition, basically. The fuel was there, I just didn't have the ignition to do it yet. And then you suggested Fourth Horseman. I'm like, oh yeah, I remember playing Fourth Horseman back in the day. And I'm like, yeah, we're doing no backup plans. It's a shotgun. There's only one exotic using a shotgun. Hey, there it is. There it is. There it is. All right. So now, okay. So let's get the triple hands-on back on. We're gonna go ahead. We're gonna die, but I want to see how fast this thing reloads now. Smacks me out of the chair. All right. So just to make sure, okay. So we're gonna take this off. Because I think this naturally gets a better reload speed. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hey, that's not bad. That's not bad. That's like with one reload speed on. One reload mod on. Alright, so now. Oh, okay. Okay. I only had one round to put in, but you saw how fast that thing went in. Go back to full tilt. Hello. Fuck. Yeah, this is good. This is good now. Alright, so just kind of walking away so I can actually think about what I'm saying for a second. So the last piece that I'm still trying to determine if I want to do, because Hunter's Journal, we could absolutely lean into the full tilt on the offensive portion. Because Shield Crush, basically the buffs that we get are going to increase the amount of damage and the recharge rate of both of our grenade and our melee, right? Shield Crush is absolutely crazy. And just like to pull up Destiny Compendium real quick on my other monitor real quick. I know I'm not going to, well, I'm going to have y'all see it too. So screen's going to go crazy just for a second. There. Okay, so now in Destiny Compendium, you should be able to see that. Okay, so we're looking for Hunter's Journal. There we go, Hunter's Journal. See how that goes. Alright, and Shield Crush. That's good to know. Grades 3 ammo upon 3 kills within 5 seconds. Nice, okay. Ah, he's stealing it too. Nice. There it is, Shield Crush. Okay. So Frost Armor, Void Overshield, or Woven Mail active. So it gives additional base melee regeneration. We don't know exactly how much yet, but it gets 50% increased melee damage. Oh, and it increases super melee damage as well. Ooh. Okay. That's good to know. And will amplify 25% increase damage. Right? So we had the benefit there Um, love the reference, man. Love the reference. So yeah, Shield Crush gives us that, give us that crazy damage buff and regeneration. Shock and all, prismatic, subject to arc final blows while you're amplified, summons a bolts of lightning that jolt targets. We can even jolt targets with this thing. Stasis final blows against slow to frozen targets. That gives us more frost armor. So we could lean back into using Aurora Dawn to give us frost armor again. The only thing, like I said, the thing that to put on Hunter's Journal, I would have to give up Restoration. Is the thing. We're still going to get Radiant, because anytime I pick up an overpower, we're going to get Radiant. And Blade Stamina. So this will help. This kind of leans into the sword usage. So we got Energy Diffusion, Elemental Siphon. And so here's the thought behind it, too. Right? Let me put these back. Let me fix the helmet again, just to kind of put the build back in order. So the final thought behind this is, if I put on Hunter's Journal, I lose the means of frost armor, or of giving woven mail from the artifact alone. So that means what I need to lean to is go into Aurora Dawn, just because there's no reason to run a weapon with slice of not using 2 shreds, and then change the subclass to Blade Fury, right, to give us woven mail on overpower pickups. And reason being is because technically, this is kind of one of those things that Matrix was even talking about, like not cross benefit. I can't remember what the business term was called. I know it too. It's driving me nuts. It's gonna bug me now until I figure it out. But anyways, we have means of health regeneration, right? We could also technically take off Facet of Solitude as well, because we're not really focused on, because we can't, Sever doesn't really do anything for us anymore. So I could probably set this out for something else. Could do Facet of Sacrifice. Hold on, just saying. All right. I'm going to get off in about 10 minutes on my end. Queen's Foil, because of the 2 shreds perk and restoration. What you thinking? Because here's my thought behind this too, right? This is a shotgun melee focus build, right? And every shotgun or melee final blow we get is going to start health regeneration. It's going to trigger health regeneration, right? We have 4 means of giving us damage reduction: Amplified, Woven Mail, Blade Fury, and Frost Armor from the set, right? So we have the most damage reduction we can get in the entire game. On top of the fact you're putting in Facet of Protection, which, just kind of reminding myself how much that actually gives us, is, I think, 25%? 15%. 15%. So, hold on, just a second. All right. Whenever I say hang on a second, I mute the mic, and that's whenever my daughter runs to the room for a second, because occasionally I don't like her being on stream. So yeah. But yeah, where I was going with it is we have 4 different means of damage reduction: facet protection, woven mail, frost armor, amplified, and void overshield. Right? We have 4 different means of damage reduction we can stack on top of each other, and technically 3 of the 4, taking out facet protection, we can keep going so long as we're getting final blows in combat. Is the thing. So that's where I personally struggle. Now, I didn't actually test this out yet with Hunter's Journal in combat yet. But I digress on that. So probably to finish this out, and I will post. Obviously, I'm gonna. This is obviously gonna be a build video. But I will make the ultimate version as a video. I mean, technically speaking, because we did test out Queen's Foil in a Frontier solo ops, so I'm gonna test this out with Hunter's Journal just to see. Because, and just to remind myself real quick, because I know we're gonna face overloads probably. Defeating targets with melee attacks makes you amplified. Okay, and side note, we also get a means of restoring our health from knockout too. So knockout's going to give us health back as well, on top of Devour, right? On top of health regeneration from no backup plans. So a bit of give and take there. And you know what I might do too while I'm still here is I might drop that melee, because it'll still be over 100. I'm gonna pump weapons to be over 100, just because it also gives us that full 15% damage buff. We still have good melee damage. 1% damage increase. Whatever. We got good grenade recharge. Although I might, since I haven't been focusing on suspending, I'm going to trade off this grenade for, let's see. The other thing I want to keep in mind too is this. No, we're going to do that. We're going to pick here your charm. Could do pulse grenade, technically, because we don't have anything that naturally. Oh well, if we put on Aurora Dawn, we do have a means of naturally stunning Overload champions, but we don't have a means of stunning Barrier champions. Crap. But I mean, technically, we do have Dead Horse though, which does have impromptu ammunition. So, I mean, yeah, either one works technically. Of course, if you just delete a Barrier champion before a Pants put up a shield, then no problem. Which might be able to do the 4th Horseman, so we'll see. But could put on Facet of Dominance, jolt targets with arc grenades. Wait a minute. How do we jolt here? Arc final blows while you're amplified. Okay. So we'll just do Thermite Grenade. Just because. It's the other one that applies... Well, Suppressor does affect Overload as well. Just Suppressor. Like I said, Grenade's not... Doesn't really fully matter here. So... And then we can swap out... Pick something with impromptu ammunition. So, alright, so let's take this to solo ops. We've already done Caldera today. So... Let's try Conflux. Conflux is also going to give us Overload. I know that. Alright. Let's see. You know what? Let's take an ultimate. Let's do ultimate. And then we have Aurora Dawn. I just said Overload. That's a problem. A bit of homework on my side is to find something that has impromptu ammunition and farm for it. That sends Overload. Alright, you know what? We're just going to run it. We're going to do Pulse Grenade, and we're going to put on Facet of Dominance. because we can still, because we can use it occasionally. So long as we keep Devour up too, we can keep it going. What? Okay, I have I have a Blade Fury on, so we're gonna try it. We're gonna try it out. We're just gonna see, because there's the last piece that before I publish a build that I like to see is how clunky is it. Does everything run smoothly, or is it clunky? Which we need to fix this too, not that one. That one. We can do Arc Reloader, because this will be our backup of getting special ammo. And plus, the drip's got to be fixed too. You know, the look of him's got to be fixed too. Like personally, I'm not a fan of that snow gear set. But all right, with the Vex blocks, these are gonna be Vex, which is nice because then we don't have to worry about getting precision shots. Let's get that the heavy ammo there. That stinks. Hope we can get Devour there. And the special ammo lack on this is real. That's the other part that I don't like about solo ops, though, is because you start out with such little ammo. Like, you gotta be on the money. There we go. Oh, Melee's already back. Alright, let's get some... Come on. Thank you. And the other good news about that, too, is that our... Because it says melee final blows, is knockout still counts as that powered melee for... Let's get amplified. Oh, goodness. Okay, yeah, that's why I have picked the heavy ammo, because that way we can stun this guy. Oh, we have a Hydra. Stop being immune and take my fist. Oh, I saw a special ammo box. Where's that? Hey, there we go. There we go. Now you're all in trouble. Dang! Okay. Alright, time to go this. Wyverns are like the one thing I don't ever mess around with. Where'd that overload champion go? Time to go prismatic. And he's stunned. Good. Got the knockout. There's 3. Buffalo, if you're still watching, what do you think on your side? Visual, because I know as the creator, like as the one playing the game and behind the control, like it's harder. It's still a challenge for me to view everything at once, especially since I'm also watching the screen. But from your side, I mean, because you are the one that requested this build, what's your thoughts? Dang, that shreds. Alright, the knockout. Come on. Come on. Get the knockout. Alright, going this. Yeah, you're gonna farm Europa for that. Couple things to make that easier is if you public events, or lost sectors, but not master lost sectors, just regular lost sectors. Because I found, and maybe this has just been my luck, but I found that running a master or lost sector, gives the luminopotent gear as opposed to the actual planetary gear. And I could be wrong. It could just be my luck. But that's what I have found. Oh, no, we just wiped. We fought our death. That's fine. Okay, so we do have this on. Alright, cool. Let's get the Void Overshield up. And put up Unbreakable so we can get Devour. Come on. We just tanked all of that. Well, probably does better with precision damage, but you know. Oh, is it really? Oh, then that means you definitely want to farm those public events, because that's going to give you the higher tier gear. Which, if I wasn't jumping off, I'd be... That's probably what I'd be doing right now, too. We're gonna wipe again. Please don't know. Okay. Alright. He's still over here. Hey, boss to leader right there. Boss to leader.
All the dark matter tech we discovered on Kepler lit a fire into the engineers at the foundries. They know that
Sensory.
paracausal abilities will still need technological advancements.
Interesting. It has slideways? Interesting.
That you're the best person to test their new generation of material. Keep an eye out for their invitation, and we'll make sure you get the newest gear first.
So definitely liking this for sure. Definitely liking this. Is it the planet? Is it still the planet destination? Right? It is. Ooh, for 30 minutes. And but no, I need to go ahead and probably work on getting off because I've been on for a while. Been on probably 3 hours streaming today, which I do need to go and take care of my daughter. She's waiting for me. But definitely liking this build though. Thank you for the recommendation. Thank you for the challenge in this with Fourth Horseman because I'm absolutely loving this. Now, if I, like I said at the beginning of the stream, if I had the catalyst for Chaperone, I'd probably absolutely run that too because I know the catalyst is triple tap, and that also helps the auto reload to help up with that precision fire. Because yes, I know Chaperone is probably one of the best shotguns in the game, but still love the Fourth Horseman. Love the fact that Final Blows will auto reload it, and that we got the catalyst, stuff like that. But if you end up catching this on the rebroadcast and you go back and, what have you, Queen's Full Sensor with these loadout you see on the screen. I'll leave it up just for a second. Armor Smith, Fever and Chill, Unraveling Orms. Although Fever and Chill might not be actually necessary. It does help you getting Frost Armor too. I have to run a stasis weapon there soon, but just put it back up. Armor Smith, Fever Chill, Unraveling Orbs, and then the 3 rocket launcher mod to the shreds with a Cynosure that has Slice. Definitely helps with getting up Woven Mail if you are running the Solar Super Hammer of Soul. Why we want to do this? Because the focus of the build is to use the no backup plans, newly reworked exotic arms. That's going to increase the duration of Overshield, Amplified Restoration, Frost Armor, and Woven Mail if you get a shotgun or a melee Final Blow. Now, I do have a melee build in mind for this build revolving around Vexcalibur because Vexcalibur does give you a Void Overshield on demand and gets a bonus, and gets 25%, I think, bonus damage melee for when you have a Void Overshield. So there's an idea that is in the works for that. But the only problem is with the Glaive build, it doesn't drop the Orb's power on melee kills. So that's why I'm leaning more towards the shotgun focus for today as well. But kind of what you want to look for as you're out there, farmer, if you want to put this build together on your own. For those of you that are still on the stream, I think you want something that connects slot that has impromptu ammunition, where Final Blows increase ammo meter progress from all sources for a slightly increased duration, or just increase ammo meter progress from all sources. And then, right, if you can find something that has stasis and impromptu detonation ammunition, that would be impeccable as well. I have one Dead Horse, which is the stasis submachine gun, because it will work with Hunter's Journal, where, go into it, stasis Final Blows against slow to frozen targets, which actually in mind won't work. Where do you farm the rocket launcher? Cynosure? Oh goodness, I have quite a few of them. I'm trying to remember where I got it from. Why do I feel like it's solo ops? Because I have a lot of them, which means that it's probably solo ops. Let me see. It is not solo ops. Where in the world did I get Cynosure from? It's from this edition. Vanguard? That's the other thing that I found. Yeah, let's try Gambit real quick. No, not Gambit. Fire Team Ops? Fire Team Ops. That's it. Fire Team Ops. And Aurora Dawn is there as well. So Fire Team Ops is where you want to go to farm that. To get the Cynosure rocket launcher. But yeah, no backup plans with the shotguns, increases duration for all of those crazy buffs. So glad, because this is the older version, dude. This is not the... If you're looking at this and you're new to the game, you're like, why does he have stats in all of his spots? Why is it not just 3? That's because this is what armors used to look like. Before Armor 3.0, or before Armor Tuning 3.0 came out. With armor sets, or whatever they're called. I can't remember anymore. But this is what armor used to look like. And I think this is what the old planetary armor still looks like, where it has stat rolls in every single spot. But I'm so glad I got one in the melee slot. But kind of loadout is you want to run, at least the Hunter's Journal version, is with Blade Fury. Grenade does not matter. I'm in that run. I was Pulse Grenade just because I was jolting targets to help deal with Overload champions. What is the main stats? Usually look for the whole build before I go. Melee and weapons. So if you're farming on Europa right now, farm for skirmisher gear. That's what I'm doing. Just because it's no backup plans work with melee and shotgun final blows, so you want to buff both of them as much as possible. Is what I'm doing. So, but if you have a different means of different idea of what to run, absolutely go for it. Yeah. So I'll have full build out in the coming weeks because this drip is absolutely terrible. So, but yeah, I will put out the final version of this in the coming weeks. But for now, dad duty is active. I'm going to go be with my daughter. So thank you guys so much for checking out the stream. And thank you guys to those of you guys that have been there since the beginning of the stream for that devotional time. If you missed that devotional time this morning, absolutely go back to watch this stream again once this ends so you can catch that time with the Lord. And if you haven't spent time with the Lord today, go spend time with Jesus because he loves you and he wants a relationship with you and he wants to be the Lord of your life because trust me, his plans are much better than our plans. So go spend time with Jesus today if you haven't already. Don't forget to do that today. And catch you guys in the next live stream, next video. See you guys around. Peace.